Here we are at a relatively new restaurant at Hideaway Bay Resort in Silver Creek, New York. They had the unique challenge of designing a commercial kitchen with a small footprint and limited space. Let me walk you through what we did here. Before we go back to the kitchen, let me show you the bar. As mentioned, the customer was tight with space. We did not have enough room in the walk-in cooler to put beer kegs or expand the walk-in cooler space. As a result, what we did here was put in a high-end beer kegerator system. So we don't have to run the long draft lines for the draft beer. It's all located here. The kegs are refrigerated down underneath, and we were able to save space in the walk-in cooler. Here we are back in the kitchen here at Hideaway Bay. We have a high-temp dishwasher here. Whenever you have a high-temp dishwasher, you're gonna need a condensate hood or you're gonna need direct vent. You know, where we were now, there's a banquet area above and we didn't have enough room to put another hood in here or run ventilation. So what we did is put a ventless dishwasher in here. You know, there is a little bit higher of a price point, but you do save on the space of putting a condensate hood in, as well as the installation costs of putting a condensate hood and running the ventilation out. So what ventless dishwashers do is the units here, they capture the steam from the wash and the rinse cycles, condense it, and then use the water to preheat future cycles. So a few of the other things that we did in this kitchen is we put in a pass-through right into the server area. You know, if you go into a more traditional kitchen, you have this setup here where you have the expo line where people are plating and passing through, but typically you have more of a chef's counter, a pickup. We didn't have the space in here where people could come in. So we integrated the pass-through directly into where the servers will be picking up, which basically saved us, you know, an additional 3 feet as we were working through this kitchen design. So as the chefs are working, they plate the food, pick up, the wait staff grabs it directly at the wait station and heads right out to the customers. Additionally, you know, you can get creative here with some custom stainless or custom fabricated accessories. So this chef here, you know, uses a lot of condiments when he's working on his grill, his flat top, you know, even over on his range. You know, what you can do, you can create custom condiment rails, or alternatively, what we put here was a condiment rail that bolted onto the side of our flat top so that he's got his condiments, his butters, all right here, so he's not constantly turning around or trying to grab it. It's a really nice solution for them to be efficient. And then another thing that you'll see here is this customer has a sophisticated menu, but outside of what you see here, we really don't have additional room, right? We don't have a traditional dry storage space, which if you watch any other videos is a critical piece of setting up a successful kitchen. We really didn't have the space here. So if you walk around in this kitchen, you'll see pretty much anywhere on this wall, we put wall shelving, right? Not a 100% substitute for a traditional dry storage area, but it does give them enough space to keep a lot of their products in stock so that they're covered when they're, you know, in the heat of service. So you may notice one thing missing. Let's go outside to check it out. So this is right outside the kitchen door here. As you know, with any commercial kitchen, refrigerated storage is a necessity. We obviously did not have the space in the kitchen to put our hotline equipment, our expo equipment, as well as put a walk-in refrigerator and freezer. So what we did here is we worked with the customers and ended up putting the walk-in outdoors. Built the platform out here, which gets you your refrigerated storage and freezer storage without taking up any space in the kitchen. Just like with any commercial kitchen, you know, refrigeration is a premium. We didn't have a whole lot of reach-in refrigerators that we would pull from the walk-in. So what we did here is in this wait station, instead of having a traditional just stainless steel table or a beverage counter, you know, we have what works as a flat top workspace, but also has refrigerated storage down below. So it kills 2 birds with 1 stone. You know, we have the workspace up top, but we also have additional refrigeration for the kitchen as well as the waitstaff right here. So if you find yourself in a similar situation as the folks here at Hideaway Bay, where you're designing a commercial kitchen in a very limited footprint or space, here are some tips to remember. Now, first off, you gotta continue to consider your functional spaces. You're still gonna, even though you're working in a small space, you're still gonna have receiving, you're still gonna have storage, you're still gonna have to design for prep, expo, service, warewashing. You're still gonna have those spaces, but you can get creative with how you work with them. So consider ventless equipment. Consider self-contained units like a kegerator. Consider getting creative with the pass-through, integrating it within the wait staff and the service area. Consider relocating refrigerator outdoors. Plaster the wall with shelving in additional storage. And then pretty much anywhere that you can take advantage of putting additional refrigeration in as a workspace, consider that too. If you have any questions about designing a commercial kitchen in a small space, contact us in the comments below. Curious about any common commercial kitchen failures? Check out this video here.